guys, welcome to this recording on using third-party evidence. I've grouped the three different types of third parties we might use: management experts, an auditor expert, or internal auditor together, and I'm trying to consolidate where we can the procedures we would need to do as an auditor in order to use their work in our findings. Where I can't consolidate, I'll split them out and make it very clear for you, but for the most part, we can actually just look at these as third-party evidence, and this is what needs to be done for either of them. Alright, so we would like to rely on somebody else's work. If we want to use their work as part of our evidence, almost accepting it as our own, we have to make sure that they meet the same strict criteria that we did. So what is that criteria? We need to first make sure that they are competent, and then we need to make sure that they are objective. We had to make sure we were competent and that we had enough people to do the work. We don't have to worry about whether they had enough. We just need to make sure that what they've done was because they had the necessary skills to do so. And then we need to make sure they are objective. We, remember, had to comply with all of the ethical requirements, including independence. But guys, I can't expect internal audit to be independent of the company, or I can't expect an expert to be independent of the company, because independence is really limited to auditors. And so if I can just make sure they're objective, then it's enough for me to say, okay, I can place reliance on them. So as with what we said with opening balances and using the prior year auditors, our first consideration is, can we place reliance on the third party? And only if we can, will we then go look at the work that they've done. So, to place reliance on the third party, we need to make sure that they are competent, and we need to make sure that they are objective. So how do we make sure they are competent? We need to go and inspect their qualifications. Maybe we have previous history with them. And I can literally just say, consider previous experience with the internal auditors, or with the auditor's expert, or with the management expert to determine if he's competent. Things like looking at published journals, or reports are going to help to see whether this person is competent or not. Okay? And that's for all of them, guys. Whether I'm looking at using management experts, auditors experts, or internal audits, I want to make sure that they are competent first. And you will get about 2 or so marks for first considering competence, and then for considering objectivity. So now what can I do? We already said that potentially with the previous auditors we could get a objectivity confirmation from them with these. But this is only relevant to your experts. So this is the auditor's experts or management experts. So we're looking over here or over here. For objective, I can just go inquire with management and with the expert as to whether the expert has relationships or an interest in the business or the company. And if they both say, no, he doesn't have a relationship with us, or no, he doesn't have a financial interest with us, then it's enough for us to say, fine, he's objective. When I'm looking at objectivity for internal audit, slightly different, because internal audit has a relationship. They're hired by the company. They have an interest because they get a salary. So the only thing that makes internal audits objective is inquiring as to who they report to. They report to the audit committee. They should be objective because the audit committee should comprise only of independent non-executive directors. We can also find out if they have any managerial influence. And that works with them and whether they are influenced by management. So if management give them duties, they can't be objective. I'm not going to rely on their work. If they are independent of management, they report to audit committee, they only deal with the audit committee's duties assigned to them, then I can see that they are objective. Okay, and like I said, only once I'm comfortable here can I then move on to, can I rely on their work? So you will have to do this consideration first, guys. Are they competent? Are they objective? You just have to put down these procedures and then you can move on to their work. You don't have to say, if they aren't competent or objective, no more work. Always accept that you can move past them being competent and objective and get to looking at their work. Then when you get to their work, what do? You have to audit it. So you need to review the working papers. You need to use analytical procedures to test the reasonability of any assumptions that they've made. Because guys, you would expect that your experts will be making assumptions, because the reason why they've had to get an expert is because that person has experience in a specific field other than accounting, and so they will know how to value a property. Whereas I am an auditor, I've got experience in accounting, I don't necessarily know how to do that. So guys, you can't say do analytical procedures to test the reasonability. You need to physically do them. So compare the value to the market value or something. I'm just saying that's what you must add here, is doing the specific analytical procedures to test the reasonability of their assumptions. You need to recalculate any calculations that they have. You need to agree their values to the financial statements. So you've actually done the actual making sure what's in the financials is what they actually tested and what their result came to. You can go and inquire with them about the work. If it's internal audits and they've tested controls, you can potentially go re-perform the procedures where possible. And if it is you actually auditing a management expert, then here's where you could say go and get an auditor's expert. But if you're auditing an auditor's expert, then you're not going to go get another expert to help you. Because ultimately, what is an auditor's expert? It's where the auditor hires somebody to help them with a valuation or something that they can't or don't have experience with. Guys, I haven't given you the specific paragraphs in each of these standards to help you, because I feel like if you work with ISA 620, paragraph A33, you will get the best examples. In ISA 500, where your application paragraphs refer to a management expert, they don't give you too many detailed procedures. They say you must test the completeness of the data, but they don't tell you how. And working with internal audit, they really discuss more reperforming. But if you go to A33 of an auditor's expert, they literally give you a list of procedures like I've done here. And if you highlight that, flag that, then that's going to be the most consolidated list of procedures that you can do to get the evidence you require. All right.